Canning, this one's good for canning. It's good for jellies. It's a blue plum, damson plum. This one's flowered, but the frost has killed some of the petals. Then this one over here, this one is also a plum. This one is a Burbank plum. This one is good for canning and jellies like the other one. You can actually mix the two. It's pretty good mixture combination. These two trees we have for about 8 months. This one also flowered, but once again the frost has not been the nicest.
There's a couple of flowers on this side.
There's a couple of them. There's like some of them right there and right there. But yeah, this one should produce this year. Then
Yep, we did that one already.
Then this one's the Everbearing Fig, and this one we got with the two plums, and the raspberry and the blueberries. This one, it has not flowered.
No, I don't think it's flowered.
No, it has not. It had a few little buds. This one's from a cold, dry desert, so we water it about once a week. That's all for that one. Oh, yeah. So one thing to know about this is last year it had flowers, but it had what's called brown spots, and it's when you overwater your fig tree. We actually had two of them. You overwater your fig tree, and it'll start to have brown spots. And with those, you can't even compost them. Most fruit trees, you want to burn the leaves, especially if they're diseased.
And why do you burn them?
Because they're not good for composting, and they can transport diseases.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you wanted to do the strawberry patch. Okay.
So this one right here is a pink lady apple. It has pink and white flowers. This one we got this year. It's only about a month old.
To us.
To us, at least. Because most of these trees are about 3 to 4 years old, but only a month old. When I say like a month old, I mean to us at least. Or in the ground. Yeah, this one has the biggest flowers of any of them, and has pretty big leaves so far. And then this one down here, funny story, my dog demolished it. She ripped it out of the pot, ate the taproot, and we thought it was going to kill the plant. But it's actually coming back. You can see there's actually some leaves growing on this little buds. We haven't seen any flowers yet. I'm not the tallest, so I can't see up there, but I think there might be a flower up there.
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
I don't see any on there.
Like I said, I can't see them. So another thing is our neighbors down the street have an apple tree, so that's kind of good. Because apples need other apple trees in order to pollinate. So apples and peaches and pears.
Apples and pears.
Yeah, apples, peaches, and pears are all part of what's called stone fruits. Peaches have to be with the other peaches. They don't really work well with the other ones. You just have to have at least 2 peaches. But pears and apples can actually pollinate with each other. So let's say you don't need 2 apples. You can have a pear and an apple, or a pear and a pear. Those will help. We only have 1 pear, but we have 2 other apples, so that's okay. So if you come over here, you look right here we have our strawberry patch. So it's a row of strawberries, 2 rows actually, and we started our first harvest And so what we're doing is actually at the beginning when we had them, we would cut off all the flowers so the plant can focus on growing. But now we actually left our flowers, and look what it's getting us: strawberries. So I've actually tried one of them. Not the greatest yet because they're not ripe, and so they're doing pretty well. At least they're not in shock anymore. The frost hasn't killed any of them. Hopefully there's no more frosts, because that's been a pain covering all of them with plastic. But yeah, so the reason I moved the strawberry a little bit and redirected it is because we have a lot of slugs and snails out here, and they like to eat our plants. Not very fun. We have to,
What happened? No, but leave it. Leave it.
okay,
Make sure.
What?
Leave it.
yeah, you can show.
This is her. The one that makes gardening and farming difficult. She knows when she did something naughty.
Sit. Never mind.
Will you
Don't
pick it up,
listen to me. Yes.
please? All right. So what's next? The garden bed.
I haven't talked about the mums yet.
Oh, okay. I'll go around.
So these are what's called mums, and they're just perennial flowers. They're woody, so they have wood, and we used to have 4 of them. Once again, the dog demolished one of them.
It's fine. I'll grab her.
So this one's a purple mum, I believe. No, that one's an orange mum. This one's a purple mum. I think this one's the pink or yellow mum. So we harvest the seeds, and we actually planted some of them. I'm not 100% sure if they've grown yet. But yeah, these are actually doing really good. Garden. So
Nova, get out of there.
once again, this one actually has a big blue flower.
All right. I'll come and show them.
These are the same, from the same batch we planted over there. These, for some reason, just got really tall. You can see the flower bud on that one.
Well, that's gonna be pretty.
Yeah, they get up to I think it's 6 feet.
And these are,
those are, some of them are clovers.
but they're what? Wildflowers, right?
Wildflowers. The reason we plant wildflowers is because wild pollinators, they really like them. They flower a lot. And you just gotta know what's local to your region. I know some plants like this can be invasive. We have mint, and it's very invasive. Trying to kill off our chives and our parsley. But, so in the garden bed, as you can see, there's a lot of wood, so we're constructing. We're digging right there. I'll show you in a second. Unfortunately, our cardboard shield decomposed, and now there's grass growing. And we actually did plant some stuff in here. Over here, we planted beets.
So let me zoom in on the beets.
Oh, they're actually growing.
These are the beets.
And there's some more beets over here.
These are
still beets.
Yeah, those are beets.
And so are these.
And yes.
They're just different types of beets.
And then we have
right here. These are called buncheon onions.
I'm trying not to step on them either.
These are called buncheon onions. I don't know. I don't know if you eat the tops. Maybe they're a root plant. This is our first year of any agriculture. All we've ever had is just indoor house plants.
This guy?
That is kale.
Yep.
You can make kale chips out of that. And then this row, oh, it's buried. It's lettuce. So later, this was plants.
The wildflowers.
So these ones we actually planted in what's called our Garden of Doom, which I will show at the end. But
Garden of Doom. All right, so
let's get out of here. Right here, we put worms and a potato. So the worms were in the potato, eating it. So right now we're about to, because this is our half compost pile to help
Neutralize those.
make the soil more nutritious.
yeah, so for this flower bed, we haven't had good luck trying to figure out the nutrient deficiency that we're having, because we have planted, that's our second batch of stuff we've planted, and it was not very successful the first time. We are seeing a little more success, but so we're going to turn this half of the flower bed into our compost bin, so eventually it could all just be healthy and have the right nutrients. So we're going to toss in some of our scraps in there. We're going to cover it, and then very important that we water it, because it won't really do anything unless it has moisture in there. All right, so Ali will let Sean do that. Excuse us, Marlene. All right, so go ahead and move this way.
So I'm going to dump the food scraps. Same thing as the compost pile.
You can do the other bag, Marlene.
Yeah, you can do the other bag. You just dump it in. And then you can dump that in. Oh, actually, that's potatoes.
Yeah, they're starting to go bad in there. Yep.
Oh,
Get the little
so
sips
we
and
might do potato plants. That's an unknown
okay.
thing, because if those potatoes, they're going bad, they might actually have chips. And that's what start a potato growing. We actually have potato plants. I will grab the pitchfork and cover this up.
Okay.
I will water this in a while. I found a wild potato that's actually growing.
That's the one that you planted.
Yes. Never mind, not wild. I'm gonna move this away from the compost pile.
Yeah.
Put that in there.
Now that we accidentally stabbed it.
I didn't stab it.
So this one we actually had thrown in our worm bin
Yes, we have worms.
for the worms to eat, and
It started sprouting.
it started sprouting, so we're like, hey, why don't we take it out to the garden and see what comes out of it. So we'll do that. We'll leave that little guy right there, and then we'll come back to him.
Okay, so over.
There it is, all
There's that.
nice and covered.
We'll water it after. Look over here. This is kind of our table, since we ran out of space on our other table.
Yes, we've planted, like probably 1,000 seeds since January.
Not 1,000.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. We've done the table that we'll show them up there
Yeah, maybe
a few times already.
Maybe more than 1,000.
It's
near there.
It's a lot.
We have
So-
about 1,000, or I was about to say 1,000 plant species. We have about how many? 100 plant species. We have 20 species of tomatoes alone.
All right, so this is our table. Everything needs to get water because we didn't water this. I didn't water this morning,
Right.
and now everything needs to get watered this evening.
These are watermelons. These are tomatillos, which is a type of tomato. And this one, I actually really like this plant. This is our sunflower plant. Well, actually, this is one of the ones we named because it was deformed. It had, instead of having regular starter leaves that would look like that and that, it had a cone. And
There's that little cone right there.
it would kind of curve like that, but it was secured all the way around in a full circle. It was like a cone, and it would retain moisture.
And the stem actually grew on the side. Let me see if I can focus it in.
actually regrew.
it continued to grow right there on the outer part.
But those starter leaves will eventually die, no matter what, with any plants. But yeah, this is our mystery plant, also found in our worm bin.
Yep.
There's some citronella, more sunflowers, watermelons.
So we called it the mystery because we really have no idea of
A lot
what
of
it'll
our
be.
plants are mysteries. So if you look actually under the table, let me move these. We have 5-gallon buckets.
Go get her place.
That's a potato.
No, it's a ball.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Never mind. These are 5-gallon buckets full of potatoes. So these we planted how many months ago?
I think when Dad came back from Utah, so January, like end of January.
Maybe February.
Yeah.
But they actually took off. So I'm gonna use this bucket an example. They grew about that tall, and then we actually left them out in a frost, and they died. So we had to prune it, and now they're coming back. When we have 2 buckets now, we used to have 5.
Yeah, we're down to 2.
Because the other ones just didn't sprout.
Mm-hmm.
Not the greatest hits if you buy grocery store potatoes, but this is what those are.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're doing pretty well. I think the last frost that killed them was how many weeks ago? 2, 3?
3, I think.
So in 3 weeks they grew that much, so that's not bad.
All right.
So I talked about the garden bed. These, if you want to know what these were, there are actually tomato wires. We're making a lattice.
Go ahead.
We're making a lattice, so because tomatoes are very viney plants. We're still deciding if we're gonna plant them in the ground or in pots. So we're gonna build a lattice here, and then since they're viney, we're just gonna have them grow up the lattice, and eventually they'll reach there. I think tomato plants can get up to 8 to 10 feet tall, so that's about 6 feet. Missed it. But
We'll see how it turns out.
I'll see how it turns out. These are a row of sunflowers. These are the Russian mammoths, right?
Mm-hmm. These are actually a mixture of Russian mammoths and the
Mammoths.
the Great American.
Oh, we got this giant American. The American giant hybrid.
Yep. And the reason why they're mixed is because after the first few frosts,
They killed some.
they pretty much all died, and then we ended up mixing it up a little bit, replacing and replacing. So we've replaced about 22 sunflower plants so
And
far.
we still have about 10 left.
Yes, those are some more sunflowers. Oh, you want to show them your...
Yes, so I don't know why this is there. These spilled everywhere a bit.
I'll take them.
These are actually onions. We planted some onions as a cover crop. These over here, they're chives. They're really good on baked potatoes. They taste like garlic. And then, as you can see, there's sunflowers in between there. So these are the onions that will cover the ground completely for when the sunflowers are high versus just having a bare ground. These chives, like I said, they're perennials. They'll stay alive all winter.
And you can find these in the fields out here in
Yeah.
North Carolina everywhere.
Yeah, literally everywhere. There's actually a ton of them in the playground field
Of your school, right?
at our school.
Okay. We transplanted a few more of the wildflowers.
Because the cinder blocks, they're so small, and so the cinder blocks, I think we have, some of them are stacked three tall, just so they can be somewhat level, and even then, they grew through all the cinder blocks, and even into the regular ground, and so it was a pain. transplanting them. But she destroyed the marigolds. That's what you get when you have a mischievous dog. But let's come over here to our makeshift greenhouse. We actually made this.
Mm-hmm. And what do you guys call this whole gardening project that we're doing?
No. You called it nursery on wheels. Yeah. So this is a greenhouse. We close it up at night to prevent some frosts from getting in. Tomatoes. These are all tomatoes. We have large cherries, Romas, and what's the other one? Golden Jubilees. Some of them are tomatillos. There's some yellow pears. Not Jello.
Yellow pears.
There's watermelons. There's, I think that's basil in the back.
In the back?
It's not labeled right here. In the seed trays.
In the seed trays? It might be the basil. I don't recall. These are dandelions. We've been planted dandelions because they're good for the chickens. This one is, do you remember?
No.
That is lavender.
It is?
Yep.
Is that the unstratifying one?
This is the stratified one.
Stratified.
Do you want to tell them about stratified?
Stratified means when, in order for some seeds to germinate, they need to be stratified, which is where they're in a cold place for a lavender needs 2 months. I think 2 weeks or 2 months.
Yeah, about 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay. And these, so we mimic it instead of by putting it outside, which is possible. We keep ours in the refrigerator, and that will mimic it. It's actually really good.
It's to mimic that they're going through a winter season.
Yeah. Fruit trees, they actually need to go through 2 summers and 2 winters. Before. So they have to be...
Before they what?
Germinate. And germinate means before the seed actually cracks open and the plant starts growing.
Oops, sorry, I almost dropped that.
So if you come over here, these are, well, what used to be marigolds. There's a marigold here. See, we planted a marigold here and here and here. But, oh, there's a marigold there. Like here, and here. Like, where did they go?
They died. So they actually did not, as you can see, like the frost. The frost was not very kind to them. So some will die and the other ones will be super healthy.
And like this one
right there.
Like, you can't even find the dead remains.
Yes.
I know, it sounded weird.
So, then we planted some
onions right here.
Onions here. There's one little guy growing in there.
Onions from the ones behind the deck. So right here, I got the pitchfork and I dug a trench, and we just put wildflowers in there that are still native to our area. Different batch from over there. Those are a pollinators mix. This one is just wildflowers that we got from the Dollar Tree. They looked super powderized, but surprisingly, only a few of them grow. We thought they were just powdered, did nothing.
But hey, so if you want some gardening and you don't have a lot to work with for now, then go to the Dollar Tree.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm almost 100% sure there's a sunflower over here.
Yeah, we've replaced it a few times.
There's a
the beans
right
have not made it at all.
There's bush beans and runner beans. Well, one of the reasons why we planted them by the fence is so they can climb it. Once again, they're like a vine, and this is sort of a lattice to them. So if you look over here, we have what's called echinacеas. Those are a purple coneflower. And they weren't a fan of the frost.
Yeah, and then bugs have been eating them.
Yeah, slugs.
They just really have not thrived in any of the locations we placed them throughout the yard.
Well, well, when we had them in their seed starter pots, they actually were doing pretty well.
Yes, but that was inside the house.
That was inside. True.
So it could just be not warm enough for them.
Is that grass?
That is your other onion.
You planted onions over here?
Mm-hmm. I didn't want them to go to waste, so they're just scattered.
Oh, there's a bean right there.
And then another little guy right there.
Yes. So
onion.
once again, a cover crop. And then we planted wildflowers, the same wildflowers from over there, right here, and they're actually taking off.
Yeah, those are actually probably
Doing
the
better
fastest.
than the
Yeah,
ones
and
So, more sunflowers, echinacea. So, and then more onions. So right here, this is lemon balm. One of the reasons why we have so much lemon balm and citronella and lavender and stuff like that is because it repels mosquitoes. And here in North Carolina, there's a lot of standing water, so there's going to be mosquitoes no matter what. It will repel mosquitoes. So one reason my mosquitoes are actually not the worst, because chickens will eat them, one, and male mosquitoes are pollinators versus female mosquitoes. Those are the ones that bite you. So over here you can see there's more onions. This is a kiwi.
he is not happy.
Yeah, I think the frost got to him.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually looking more like wood though, kind of like the grapevines from back there.
Yeah.
We have wild grapevines in our backyard. We didn't plant them.
So
They're just native.
here's another wildflower that we had just transplanted over here.
And then there's another. So these right here, those are all sunflowers, minus these three. These are watermelons. And then
Those are pretty watermelons for the summer.
I found this sunflower under a tough box.
It got blown over
there.
from the wind.
Yeah, it was blown over from the wind and it was smashed under the tough box. There's another wildflower back there.
You can show them now about what you were saying about the potatoes.
Yes, so these are potatoes, and this is what they look like, except much worse because we had a really bad frost. These
were super healthy like 3 days ago.
yeah, and these past few days, it was only like a frost in the low 30s, and this is what it did to them. That one time that wiped out the potatoes, it was like in the teens.
No, I think it was, it might have been 20s.
I think it was like 10s.
No, it was not 10s. Alright, hey, off your next place.
Okay. Yeah, I got one of these things. So these right here, these are also onions we've had for a little bit longer. And we planted, is this?
That was
lettuce.
That looks like marigolds.
It does, but why would we plant them with what?
Well,
onions?
that is a simple answer because Dad planted these.
Oh.
That
So,
is why there's marigolds as a cover.
Marigolds and onions, and then right here, I believe this one is, this one's rosemary.
Yeah, that's the rosemary.
So this one is our rosemary. It actually flowered. Rosemary, what's my rosemary good on?
Potatoes.
Potatoes. Really?
Yep.
I thought chives. So over here, we have herbs. This is our herb collection. We had 7. One of them died. So now
This
we have
is
6.
also rosemary, but this guy was just not a happy fellow.
Yeah, we kept him in a dark, humid place for too long, and that he did not like it. So this one is rosemary. So is that one.
And rosemary is also bug repellent.
Bug repellent. And then if you look right here, this one, I always get them confused. I'm sure this one's oregano.
Yes.
Finally got it right.
So when
this
we
is
make
oregano.
spaghetti, sometimes they'll say, Esther or Sean, bring me some oregano. And he'll go over to that one and bring me some mint.
They look so similar.
Or sometimes he'll say, Sean, go bring me some mint for lemonade. And he will bring me some oregano. So we're getting there.
Yes.
All right.
I just have to look at the plants that it's next to. So this one right here, it's thyme. It's not spelled Time. It's actually spelled Thyme. So that's something cool. This one right here is lavender.
Nope, this one's actually the sage. I
What?
actually changed it.
You changed it?
Yeah, I switched them so this one could get more sun.
Oh, I just saw the bucket. Okay, so this one's sage. I'm wrong. This one's a coneflower. I was just thinking since it's the petals. This one is sage. It has a coneflower. But this one we've had for a while.
Yeah, this one we
That's
got
nice.
last
And my dog.
October.
This is my dog's favorite plant. She will
eat.
just come over here.
This
Pick
is
a-
probably her right there.
Yep,
Like,
that's her. She just likes munching on leaves.
yep, she really enjoys the sage. I think the sage is probably her favorite.
Yeah.
All right,
And
so
then-
here we go.
This one, we actually need to transplant desperately. This one, these long ones are onions, and then these little ones are actually lettuce.
Here, why don't you show us how tasty they are?
I'm not a fan of vegetables.
All right.
I'll eat it though. You can look away now.
Yeah, because they didn't hear that.
They didn't hear anything.
All right, what's this
Um,
one?
So these are also chives. Wait, what? They flower?
Yes, they get these pretty. Well, I don't know if this is this exact same color, but they'll get some pretty pink, purpley, like lilac color.
I thought it was lilac.
Let's see if I can get.
That's actually
them to
really cool because
show.
I never knew they flowered.
Yeah, they have to
But-
flower.
I thought they just sent runners like bamboo. So
I hadn't noticed those, to be honest.
this is chives. I
Mhm.
I didn't notice that. It's the same thing as over there. These are garlic chives, but the only difference is this one is sort of captive bred. This one right here is parsley. So like I said, we have 6 herbs. There's one more behind here. This one is mint. So mint will eventually have to transplant and have its own pot because mint is actually very, very, very invasive. It's actually killing our parsley, and hopefully it doesn't kill our chives. This one right here, over here, is what the same thing we planted over there with Chicken Paradise. Never mind, the Chicken Paradise number 2. There's 3 Chicken Paradises, but this one it's a chicks mix.
Uh-huh.
And it's actually growing out of the hardwood cloth.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's called cloth.
It's actually like chicken something.
chicken wire. It's called hardwood cloth though.
So the purpose of this box is that
So the chickens can peck at it, but it won't destroy the roots, and then eventually they'll come back, and then the chickens can do the same thing.
and then over and over. Okay, so this one.
over here, it's literally the exact same thing,
Mm-hmm.
planted at the exact same time. Yeah, that one took off, and this one didn't.
Also, what did we
kinda
plant on this one? Do you remember?
We also planted the sweet purple basil.
Yeah, this is sweet purple basil.
I thought that was dirt.
No, from
I never
404.
noticed. They just look like dirt.
And we planted leftover.
Marigolds, lettuce. I don't know. They look like a mix.
Yeah,
I think it's
I'm not
marigold.
sure.
Over here, these are elephant ears. Not working out the best.
Yeah, we still have not figured out. We've changed them, and
There's one elephant ear.
so okay.
Maybe some roots.
Maybe because we also been taking it out quite often.
know.
It has one little root. It's been a few
I
weeks
didn't see
now.
that. I was looking at this. There's
We
one.
know they like the heat.
That one is my sister's. I believe this one is mine. This one's my elephant ear. We try to have a
Oh,
competition.
that guy is a little squishy.
Squishy.
Oh, but look at him.
You look right here.
Look at the roots right there.
Oh yeah, look at this.
Yep, the little knob.
That one's mine, I believe, and this.
So SJ so far is the winner of this race.
Nope, you're definitely.
Me?
If you look
Let's
right
find
here,
out.
look at this.
Oh, yeah.
I can't even pull it out of the ground because of that.
Oh, he
root.
has roots. Okay.
Yeah.
Yay! So typically we always will plant something and pretend to race each other to see whose plant will germinate the fastest.
Yes. Our family is very, very competitive.
With
Um,
with our plants.
Literally everything. These are marigolds. So these are just regular houseplants that we have. Usually, they're only supposed to be purple with yellow insides, but we finally got our first one. That was the opposite. It was yellow with purple insides. And that's just confusing because that means we've had some kind of weird pollination process.
But also, the only reason why we really have these is initially we had no plants, and these were on clearance.
We had lots of plants.
Flowers.
Flowers. Oh.
Yeah.
You said plants.
Oh, flower plants. So we got these because they looked worse than they look now, but that's only because they are not cold friendly.
Yeah.
They do not like the cold.
So, same thing, we just transplanted it into the bag. So these are cloth bags. The reason why we have so many of them is it's for overwatering. We've had some troubling experience with overwatering.
Who
They'll look at me.
overwaters?
But yeah, it'll just drain on the side because it's cloth, and then it can also, the cloth will also hold the moisture, so that's always a plus. So we don't have to water it as often. If you look over here, we actually have some potatoes. They're growing straight out of the ground. They're not very cold friendly, especially when they're seed starters. But yeah, those are potatoes. This entire section is potatoes.
And these specific potatoes we did buy from the store. We let them grow a little bit.
Well,
and cut them and toss them in here.
So
but not all of them.
These were made for planting.
Yes.
These were originally for it. Not for like cooking, but they were only for planting. Special picks. I think we got them at Tractor Supply.
Did we? I thought we got them at the nursery place.
No, I think we got it at Tractor Supply. But yeah. So that's that. And then this is our chicken tractor. We don't have chickens
To be.
They come in.
So this actually used to be our dog kennel from like 10 years ago. And yeah, probably a little longer than that, to be honest. It used to be over here on this dry patch that you see. And that's where our dogs used to be. And now we're going to try to transform it into our movable chicken tractor.
So if you look on the inside, this is just regular fencing. But if you look really closely, there's chicken wire. So the reason we put chicken wire is so big snakes, because we get snakes that are about 3 feet long here, and they can swallow a chicken whole.
A little chick.
A little chick. Not like the bear drop, or Finnish mouth, or Cornish crosses, which are what we have.
Will have, because we technically don't have them in yet.
Yeah. So the reason why we put the chicken wire on the inside is because, once again, my dog destroys everything, and she would pull it off, and
trying to get to the chickens. Yeah. All right. So.
And then you might think, how is it movable? It's actually really easy to lift. It's only about.
Are the tires up?
Yeah, the tires are up.
Okay.
They're always up. They don't come down.
Okay.
So look, I can just regularly pick it up, and then you can just move it around. I'm not gonna move it around now because okay, that's good. You gotta wash your hands after that because that's rusty.
So Sean actually put the floorboards over here this weekend, and I can attach a video if you guys want to see that. Towards the end of it.
Nail gun and a drill.
Yep. So we have the frame so far, and
But yeah, that's our chicken tractor. And then this we're not finished building it. We're gonna have to make it very dark, because the chickens will come through here, and this is their nesting place. This is the coop. And then the reason why we wanted to do free range versus having a permanent coop is because they get new grass every single day, and they're not pecking at the same dirt.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's this thing. Of course, you want your soil to be fertile so it can grow, right? But there's this thing. If you leave chickens or cows or pigs, or really just or really just any livestock animal.
Okay, so I'm gonna say why you stopped. We just realized, and sorry, but just part of nature. We found some animal scat, which honestly I had not seen. Maybe rabbit, or we have lots of squirrels, but I haven't seen that kind of scat
Nova tried to get a
before.
rabbit yesterday.
So maybe rabbit now that our plants are starting to grow. Careful behind you.
Yeah, that's.
So you were saying about the chickens?
Oh yeah. So really, just with any livestock animal, they can get over fertilized,
Mm-hmm.
which means the manure will you mix it in with the soil. It makes it so nitrogen filled that it could burn your plant's roots because
And-
it's always trying to decompose. Because like I said, the compost pile gets very very hot, and it could literally cook your plant's roots. And let's say you had like potatoes or onions in there, you can pull it out. Not literally a baked potato, but it's gonna be really warm.
Also, one big thing is that kind of like when you see farmers that have dairy or pigs and they have no grass, that's that same reason, because they don't move their animals
Every single day.
Yeah, so then their grass just eventually dies out.
Yeah, and it's
So,
not very good.
Chicken Paradise number 700.
No, this one's number 3. Chicken Paradise number 1 is over there by the fruit trees. Number 2, over there by the hammocks. Number 3.
Are you gonna get it? Okay, thank you. And I think that was Nova. Hey, Merlin, is Nova in her kennel? Yes? Is Nova in her kennel?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So, right here. But, yeah. So, this is Chicken Paradise number 3. It's the same thing as in those pots over there.
We did plant some more clover.
We planted clover and citronella over there. So this right here, I kind of did this by myself. I knew it gets very little sunlight because of the trees, the trampoline. But every day I come out here and water it, and it's just for fun. It's for me. I'm trying to make a amphibian garden. Try to find skinks, lizards, frogs, snakes. Yeah, that's for me. And now
That's Sean's personal project.
Yes, and that's the first time my mom's heard about it. So.
And the wildest creature in our yard. There she is. Alright, so are we finally here?
I think so.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, we have an orange and lemon tree inside. And
Yes.
lots of other plants, but our house is not clean, so.
Yeah, we haven't cleaned today.
This is what we call our Garden of Doom.
Dun dun dun.
Garden of Doom. So,
And why is it the Garden of Doom?
because these are our sacrificial plants, we'd rather have the animals eat these versus them over there. So these are Walla Walla onions. None of them have sprouted. These are carrots. Also, none of them have sprouted. The ones in the back are beets. None of them have sprouted.
Wait. I think, look, isn't that it right there? Two little guys right there? Here, let me go in between. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's red ones. So, never mind. I take that back.
Oh,
Some
right there.
over here
Yep.
too. And one, a big one right there. Okay, I take that back. They have sprouted.
And some of them have already been eaten.
That's not the greatest.
Okay.
Well, it's our Garden
Well,
of Doom. So
yeah.
who really cares?
So then,
This one is our lettuce. Actually, if you remember, we planted lettuce back there. I think this lettuce is going to thrive more if it doesn't get eaten, because lettuce is more of a partial shade plant, and that gets full sun every single day, all day, 8 to 10 hours.
Yeah.
And lettuce only likes, I think it's 4 to 6 hours.
Do you want to tell them about your creations over here?
The beats. I wasn't the one who wrote this. Obviously, the handwriting's better than mine. Also, right here, we planted a strip of wildflowers, and back there, everything from right here to those greens over there, we planted wildflowers.
Mm-hmm.
We check them, I think, every other day.
Or so, yeah.
Well, you check them.
Yeah.
How often do you see any?
Changes. So in that area, it's layers on layers on layers of leaves and pine needles. So there's not a lot of actual soil.
Yeah.
So if we put a stick in there,
It will go down about 2 feet. We've gotten a stick and
yeah,
shaped it
in
there.
some areas. So
Some
it just
areas
depends.
use that.
So it's not the sturdiest when it comes to planting new seedlings on there.
Yes, that's also true. I know I mentioned dandelions on these, and they're bad, but we actually planted dandelions since they're good for chickens.
And that's
We have two smaller patches of clover back there with a few dandelions in them. But dandelions are also known as weeds, but they flower, and the flowers, the seeds, and they're actually really good for chickens. There's also I don't know how to pronounce it, death nettle. I don't know how to pronounce it. But it's like this. It's kind of like red clover, except it gets like 8 inches, and then it swoops to the side, and then comes up, and then it has like pinkish flowers. We have some of that, which is also good for chickens, high in omega-3s. But
for them. And actually, dandelions, the flowers themselves are very nutritious for people to consume, as
Yeah.
well as
you can actually have dandelions in teas, like you can have the leaves, you can have them in salads.
yep.
Um,
Which personally we have not tried yet, but since we planted these ourselves, we might be able to harvest them and check them out.
yeah, versus like those giant ones from over there.
Yep.
I feel like we're missing something.
I think that's it. We'll give them an update. Once everything fills in
We can
in a
get the
month or
ones
two,
We can get the table up there and the lemon trees.
we'll do that on our next video because we are over an hour in, and I'm sure they would want to get an update later.
Do you know how to split it into videos?
I think so. We'll give it a go.
Okay.
All right. Sean, out.
What?